And let me make sure that
Yes?
we are not muted. There we go.
Okay. Yep. I'm also watching the stream. My cup looks so cute.
Doesn't it? It matches so well.
With the bows and the little wing on the straw. Perfect.
We just need these in real life.
Yeah. Where's the Starbucks cute star bow wing frappuccino?
I think it's just called the. Oh, I don't know. They have like a million different frappuccinos. I think it's just a strawberry
Oh yeah.
frappuccino.
Probably. It'd probably be strawberry.
They have a pink one that's really expensive, actually.
Oh, okay. Maybe not. Just get coffee.
Hi, Villa. How are you doing? Oh, thank you for the follow, by the way.
Who's that? Oh, Vugtus! Hi! Vugtus is my friend, yeah.
Oh, hello. Welcome. Glad you could join us so that we can uncover all of Miss Piper's secrets.
Miss Piper exposed.
Exactly. I'm putting that in the thumbnail.
Oh,
Well, welcome everybody. Welcome. What I get into? You're gonna find out. Welcome to another episode of LUMENIGHT Lounge with our adorable Sensei Piper. You want to introduce yourself?
thank you. Okay, I suppose I will. Hi everyone. I'm Miss Piper or Piper Sensei, depending on where you've seen me. Maybe Twitter. I'm something else. Yeah. I am a teacher VTuber. I'm also say so, which means I'm family friendly. But I don't live in a family friendly world, so
Oh,
the world is not family friendly, but I always am.
that's so adorable. I can't handle the cuteness right now. And for anybody that doesn't know me, my name is Matcha. I am a Kitsune sorceress. I travel from world to world, and now, as I travel through worlds, I meet a whole lot of nice companions that I would like to get to know, and then put in a VOD where it will be forever stored.
Nobody will ever forget.
Exactly. Oh, we
Mhm.
can go on ahead and start off with our first segment. Our first segment is the content creation journey. So we're gonna get through a couple of a little bit of basic questions. Starting with the first one, what got you started into being a VTuber?
Well, the thought had never actually crossed my mind until my husband told me that I'd be a good fit for it. And so I'm not sure if you know, but my husband is Neo Monstrum. And he'd started VTubing first. So he was preparing his 2D model, and he was like, "You should do this too." And I'm like, "What's all this?" And then like I knew what VTubers were, right? But I'd always thought that VTubers or streamers rather were like shouty, screamy, and I don't know. Like, maybe it's because those are the ones that tend to gather a lot of views.
You're not wrong. You're really not.
Like, the ones that seem to be featured on YouTubers are like people shouting at Minecraft. I'm like, you think I'd be good for this? But, so so he's like, you'd be good for this. And then I saw, I think I saw a couple of Niji Sanji people, and I'm like, okay, they're not so shouty, screamy. Or seen a few other people, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, they're not all shouty, screamy, so maybe. And I was thinking, like, maybe there is a market, or there's a demand for people who aren't looking for shouty, screamy company. So I've told you, like, at the same time that, oh no, rather, I'm not, I'm a teacher, right? Like I used to teach at public school, and this actually coincided with me becoming quite disillusioned with my job.
Disillusioned with your job.
Yeah, like it's I think a lot of people don't really consider, but like teachers are really passionate. And for people who are passionate about something, you do something because you love it, but it's because of that you sacrifice a lot of yourself for the job. And I think at that point in time where Neo was like, oh no, maybe you should try VTubing, it's a good outlet and blah, blah, blah. I was feeling quite burnt out with teaching.
Aw.
Yeah, so because you give and give and give. And it's not like you're looking for anything in return, right? And I've said this a lot to my own viewers, but there's a fine line between passion and masochism.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting that word specifically. I get what you mean. Because
I can still be say so and say that.
Yes, yeah, you can still be say so and say that. But yeah, you can tear yourself on the inside if you have, i.e., too much of a passion for something.
Yeah, like you need to fill up your own cup as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have to feel like you're achieving something. You have to feel some sort of accomplished, or else you're just gonna feel like you're doing the same thing over and over again with no progress.
Yeah, and like especially with school, it feels like that because every year it's the same, it's you've got this term and then you've got the break and then you've got the next term and then you've got summer break and blah. It does feel like you're doing the same thing day in and day out. And so I was but that wasn't like the main reason why I decided that I wanted to quit. But at that same time, I was disillusioned with teaching, which was my day job, to teaching at public school. And it got to the point where I was actually getting, for the first time in like my life, I was getting panic attacks regularly.
What?
Yeah. You would be surprised the amount of teachers that like have to do counseling and go through therapy.
Oh my gosh. I knew that it was like a big mental toll because you are dealing with a lot of people and a lot of emotions, especially like it does depend on the age of all your students as well.
Oh, definitely. But there's also I don't know what it is. It's the caliber of parents.
I didn't even take that into consideration, especially if you're dealing with people that are younger. The parents can be pretty off the rocker some of the time.
Yeah, like really demanding. And it sounds mean, but I'm like, you're telling me to do all this for your kid. And I look at the kid, and the kid looks like a mouth breather. Like, you want me to drop everything for this?
Oh my god.
As mean as it sounds, it's like, who is your kid? I've got, tens of other kids to look after. What makes your kid so much more different that I need to, look after them so much all the time?
Thank you for the follow, Red Blade. I mean, not the mouth.
Hi, Red Blade. It's mean to say, but I don't know how else to, like, their kid is really nothing remarkable.
It's better than how my friend, my bestie, whenever she's in a situation with a lot of kids involved, she just calls them crumb snatchers. But that's mainly because she got upset because she got the flu, and she was fine all year, but she didn't get the flu until she dropped her little brother off at school. Once she dropped him off at school, she immediately started getting flu symptoms. And she said, these little crumb snatchers got me sick.
It's true. Oh my gosh, kids get sick all the time.
So they can be a little gross sometimes.
Yeah. And I get it as well, because they haven't existed for all that long, so they don't have the antibodies, but it's, I just realized there's so many of my friends joining in too.
Thank you for the follow, Shiro. Oh my gosh, they're all here supporting you. Or they want to know all your secrets, one or the other.
It could be both. They're cheeky, but they're good. They're good noodles.
Oh, you guys are good noodles. I want to see your good noodle stars if you all are good noodles.
Yes. I'm gonna pop some of them in the chat. Do they bounce around your screen?
Oh my god, they're so cute.
I drew them.
I can't take this much cuteness. I don't have a replacement heart.
For subs, I have best noodle.
So, oh my, that's so cute. Did you really think it's noodle? Oh my gosh. So what's hilarious is that when I made my tweet post about interviewing you specifically, I used a moving image of SpongeBob when he was in school, when he was about to get a good noodle star.
That's actually where, oh my god, I reference SpongeBob so much.
Oh, I see why. All the episodes of SpongeBob being in class were so funny.
Yeah, like, oh, and he's a good student. Like, okay, he's not the sharpest tool in the shed, but he tries gosh dang if he doesn't try his best.
He does. Because okay, I did have doubts on SpongeBob a little bit, and I do regret it, but hear me out. That one episode when SpongeBob really wanted to go to school with Patrick, because of course he loves Patrick, that's his bestie, right? But then Patrick was doing all this crazy off the rocker stuff and cost him a good noodle star, and SpongeBob was livid.
Yes. Oh my gosh, where like she starts scraping the star off and SpongeBob goes nuts.
Yeah, he was like crying and everything. And he was like, you might be my friend, but you cost me a good noodle star. I was like, oh my gosh, I've never seen this guy this mad before. Except for that one time with Mr. Krabs, when Mr. Krabs was making him do all this stuff for Mrs. Puff, like.
Oh yeah. Like being the wingman. Yeah.
Yeah, and Mr. Krabs was just spending all this unnecessary money doing all this unnecessary stuff.
Yes. And then like where he like, we're not talking about this or this, we're talking about this.
Exactly. He was so mad. SpongeBob was great.
Like I like the older ones. I don't know, the newer ones. The humor kind of changed. Patrick became, he went from being endearingly stupid to just annoyingly obtuse, like so dumb.
I haven't even watched many of the newer episodes lately. Did it? They changed them that much?
I think so. I think it could be the writing team changed, but yeah, the tone definitely changed like after the SpongeBob movie, like the first one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Chat says newer episodes are sort of a dice roll now. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Oh, Shiro knows. Shiro's my head prefect.
That's quite the title there, Shiro.
He knows. He's my mod. He's such a dutiful mod, so he has to be the head prefect.
I can't. This is too much. How do you guys handle this much cuteness in like a whole stream? Well, honestly, I was in a few of those streams. So.
They just tease me.
Oh my! Well, that's one way to do it. Oh, no.
But it's kind of nice. It's like I'm back in school. Like the good parts of school, the parts where you get to deal with the kids and you get to interact with them.
We've adapted. You all are built different. Oh my
They're
gosh.
good.
You have a really nice community.
I do. I'm really lucky because you can get some really sus people on the internet.
Yes, you can.
I don't know how it happened, but sometimes I talk to my husband about VTubing, like a lot. We bounce ideas off each other, which is the nice thing about having a partner who also does this. The irony being that he started first. But he's like, you've built a really nice community. And I'm like, I'm not too sure how I've done that. And then when I think about it, I suppose it's because of the teacher vibe that's kind of helped.
Yeah, because there are, if you kind of sort of think about it, and I might be thinking too deeply, but I guess that's my whole character. There are a lot of kids that are in school, not even just kids, but adults, because colleges are a thing. And
yeah.
But there's a lot of teachers out there that, that don't care. There's a lot of teachers that don't care. There's a lot of parents, bosses that don't care. So for you, Ms. Piper, somebody of higher authority that shows love and care and compassion to people, it's really needed in someone's life, and you're giving it to people, and this is why you have the community that you do. Like, people need people
No,
like you
thank you.
around.
That's actually part of why I wanted to start and like what I set out to do VTubing, like being that person. Because a lot of people, unfortunately, it seems like they've had some really crummy teachers. But like as a teacher myself, I I find that teachers, it's the kind of profession where you need to be passionate to go into it. So I think that the teachers who are mean, maybe they've just lost their passion. Maybe they've been so, thumbed down by a system that takes a lot of autonomy away from them, by demanding parents and demanding stakeholders and that kind of thing, that they become really jaded. I think that's really the word.
America.
It's not even just America. That like just because I know a few other teacher friends in other countries, but like there are lots of teachers quitting in all countries, like so many. Hi, Dynamite Bones.
Hi, Dynamite. Welcome in. It seems like everyone I talk to has a horrible teacher story. It makes me so sad. I was very sad about this one TikToker. I was looking at TikTok one day, and this woman, she's a teacher, and she was crying profusely because all of her stuff was getting trashed in her classroom. Like, she had a little videography session, which was really cute. It was at the beginning of the school year last year. And she had all these beautiful fairy lights, and her classroom was a vibe. She had a cute little cozy corner. She had all these things. She had a treat counter. She had like a counting counter, and she had like a really nice projector and all this other, like, this was a vibe. Like, this classroom, I wish I had that classroom. And then 2 weeks into the school year, yeah, it was so nice. Then 2 weeks into the school year, she cut through, like, it did like a little time skip. Everything was destroyed. Her treats were stolen. The lights were torn down. There was like trash everywhere. And she's like, I can't keep anything around. I gotta lock my desk. And I felt so bad. And she felt so bad. And she was like, I'm going to quit. Like, no. And the bad thing is, it's not truly the kids. It's just the parents don't care. Because I would tell the parents and no one does anything. Like, I don't have any support. And I felt so bad.
Yeah. Like, how old were these kids though?
It was like middle school.
Oh, like, okay, so I don't think parents realize that we aren't miracle workers. Like, when we see their kids, they are like in middle school. What's that? 12?
Yeah.
Is that 12? At the earliest. Yeah, it's like 12. And so that means the parents have had them for 12 years before we even see them. So we can't undo 12 years of damage if you have not discipline them well. You can't just trust that, oh, okay, the state's just gonna fix my kid. It's gonna undo all the damage that I did, all the trauma that I imparted, all of the entitlement, all of that. Like, the way that you were describing it made it sound like it was a kindergarten.
Right? That's what I thought. I thought it was for little kids. Like, I thought when I first saw the video and when I first saw the decorations, I thought it was for like little kids, because everything was so bright, colorful, cheerful. But then I was like, even if I was in college, I would love that in the classroom. Like, I can't speak on anybody else. But then she was like, I go to this park middle school. I'm like, middle school? What?
Middle school.
These kids are like a few years away from driving.
Yeah, oh my god, that's the thing. Would you trust these kids to drive if they couldn't even pick up after themselves? They just get into a car crash, walk out and pretend that nothing happened and say, oh, it was the other person's fault.
Exactly.
There's no accountability, and parents are complicit in that. But this is what I've said as well with a lot of teacher friends and just friends my age. Because I do feel quite strongly about this. Anybody can be a parent. Like, if, pardon my French, but if you're fertile, you can be a parent.
You do have the biological capabilities, yes.
Yeah. Like, if you think about it in that way, anybody can be a parent. Should they? Certainly not. But if you want to be a teacher, you can. But you need to go through all this training. You need to have a degree. You need to go through, like, an exam. You need to be qualified to be a teacher. But anybody can be a parent. It's scary.
That's true. I like I would like to see one day more restrictions when it comes to parenting, but there's no way to really stop that unless you actually monitor when people are conceived, and that's kind of creepy.
Yeah, like that's infringing on human rights. But like, I also think that children have human rights. Like you don't get to choose where you're born to or what kind of parents you have. But once that's happened, the most you can do is take the kid away, which is like the worst. Like ideally you don't want to have to do that. But parents, you can't just put in policies to make them be better parents because it does infringe on the human rights and that kind of thing. And in somewhere like America, I think that is certainly not gonna fly.
No, it's not. People will riot.
Yeah, exactly. Like you riot about masks. Don't even talk about having kids.
Exactly. Chat says the sentiment, I decide how my kid will be raised. Yeah, and that's pretty scary if the parent is not a good person.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, your child is going to be a part of society. And if everyone's kid is going to be raised a certain way, then what kind of society are you going to have in the end?
Yeah, it's going to be really, really bad. And I think that kids nowadays, they go through a lot already.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't want to be a kid now.
Oh, absolutely not, because there's so much going on. Like, for example, in my country, we're about to get like temperatures up to 105 for the rest of this week up until Saturday.
Oh, I've heard that from so many people. That's hot. I'm guessing that's Fahrenheit and not Celsius.
That is Fahrenheit. That is, I can fry an egg on the sidewalk and the egg is going to burn within 2 minutes.
Oh, that's disgusting.
And it's high humidity too. It's 105. No, it's 112% humidity because of the hurricanes down south.
Oh, sheesh.
So it's sticky and it's gross and it's hot. And it's hot. Did I mention it's hot?
It's very uncomfortable.
Extremely. But then like on Saturday, dips back down to 70 like nothing happened.
That's crazy. That's real extreme.
It's making people
and I
sick.
mean, oh yeah, like that's one thing, like the natural environment. But even with things like social media and having smartphones and that kind of thing, I wouldn't want to be a kid now. Too many distractions, and I think technology is advancing at too quick of a pace for parents to keep up.
It is. Oh, Chess, it sounds like Florida. Florida is the one that got hit with the hurricane. Florida and California at the same time. And I think Canada is still burning, I think. Yeah, it's still burning.
Sheesh.
Like
it's very uncomfortable.
Extremely uncomfortable. But honestly, where I am, I'm in like the center-ish part of the United States. I'm doing a lot better than New York right now. New York had like a cloud blackout, which has never, well, at least not in my lifetime, it's never happened before. So a cloud blackout is where the humidity level is so high that the clouds, metaphorically, but somewhat literally, fall from the sky, and you have almost 0% visibility outside. It blocks the sun in the middle of the day.
Whoa! Yeah. That's crazy.
Potato, thank you for the follow. But yeah,
Potato!
But yeah, it's super bad though, because it was pretty scary because there was a mix of clouds and pollution.
Oh, so it's like, it's dark and also don't breathe.
It's dark in the middle of the day and don't breathe. Like people were told by the FDA and the government, like they had a whole paging system telling everybody, you need to stay inside today. Like don't go outside. The air is not clean right now. You cannot leave your homes. It
is a scary world.
Yeah.
Just everywhere. And even when you stay indoors, like you can't escape. Like you've escaped the natural environment, but you can't really escape people because you're always connected.
Yeah. So what did people do? They went on social media, and that's all you can do at that point. And I bet a lot of people are scared.
Yeah.
But another reason why I'll never live in New York, other than the prices.
Oh yeah, like Things have changed so much. So much so that and even other teachers who'd been teaching for longer than I had, they say like students have really changed, not only in just that they feel more entitled and they speak out more. I don't think that it's a problem with students speaking out, but at least if you speak out, you should have some substance. You can't just say I don't like something and not be able to back it up with some reasons why that aren't just subjective.
I agree. It needs
So
flavor behind it.
Yeah. You need to have some reasons that everybody can understand and not just I don't like it because I just don't. Because blah blah blah. It's got to be something that everyone can understand.
Just to help people communicate with you better, because that's how you are going to get to an understanding.
Yeah, so and it's weird, like, is this just not being taught by schools? Like when I see people arguing online, I'm like, this is not like we're talking about, like, let's say the argument is about X, and then somebody goes and brings in something completely unrelated, like Y, and then the person replying to that replies with Z, and it's like, hang on, you've strayed so far past the original argument, it's got nothing to do with it anymore. So it's pretty obvious that schools, I wouldn't say teachers, like no one individual teacher, but whatever system seems to be failing.
Yeah, it is.
So that's something that I wanted to kind of remedy by doing VTubing. And my husband was saying, like, it's good if you bring in your natural kind of persona into VTubing, because surely there are people who are looking for that kind of thing. And I know as well, like, people who have had teachers that have let them down, and unfortunately it's these teachers that stick with them. It really doesn't matter how many other good teachers you've had. There'll be that one mean teacher that kind of sticks with you.
Yeah, because we as humans, we tend to memorize the more hurtful things rather than the good things.
Oh yeah, I think it was like I shouldn't be spreading fake news, but I remembered reading somewhere that it was I think it takes 5 good things to kind of remedy one bad thing. It was like 3 to 5 good things to remedy one bad thing.
Oh, that's a good ratio. That makes sense.
Yeah, it was a study that I'd read somewhere. Like, you know, like if you receive a negative comment, it takes about 3 to 5 positive comments to kind of like ratio it out. It's like the equivalent, the emotional equivalent. Yeah.
I can see that. It's kind of the same metaphorical statement saying, like, if you have a bad habit, it takes twice as long to break it.
Yeah. It's strange how the negative stuff.
Yeah, but that's a lot of psychology. I didn't major in psychology. So I have a bachelor's degree in graphic and web, and I have a master's in fine arts. Communications and marketing and color theory are my main, like, subjects. More so.
I see.
And creative writing.
Oh, that's cool. And creative writing. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just reading chat as well.
The things that are bad can be annoying, but also learning opportunity that you will never have realized. Yeah, that's a good take on it. Yeah, like that one YouTube comment.
Oh yes! Oh my gosh! Yeah, it's true. Like if you hear even one criticism, it may not even be based on anything in particular. You may not even agree with it, but it sticks with you the whole day. Or if, like, I don't know, you let someone down, that sticks with you more throughout the day than if you cheer someone up.
It does. Have you ever had, like, a comment like that on your content?
Oh, I do remember there was it was in my old account, but I shared something like, you know, I was trying to get stuff trending, right? And I was like, oh, share your favorite Sonic Frontiers soundtrack, or like your favorite Sonic Frontiers soundtrack is you know, tells a lot about your personality. And then somebody commented and said, oh, Sonic Frontiers soundtrack is trash and blah, blah, blah. And, like, it's not, though. They've got bad taste, obviously. But I was so put off by that. Yeah, like, if you've got nothing to say, then just don't say it. Like, if you've got nothing nice to say, don't say it. But I was so
Exactly.
put off by that. I just deleted that whole tweet. But it was okay. It didn't
Oh,
even gain traction. But yeah, it didn't even gain traction. But I was so put off by it. And it made me feel bummed out the whole day. Even though I know that it's good soundtrack. That person's just got bad taste.
Blade wants to fight somebody.
Right? I don't even remember. That's the thing. I don't even remember the guy. I just remember that happened. I would, yeah, I would tell you not to fight the guy Red Blade. He's not worth your time. He's got bad taste. Just let
Right?
the universe take care of him.
I did have a whole conversation with another VTuber on their Twitter because
Mhm.
they were talking about, we were actually talking about Sonic music, and I was telling them how Casino Night
Oh,
Zone
yeah?
and Green Hill are my two favorite Sonic songs ever.
Oh,
this
Casino
day.
Night. Huh. All right. Green Hill is a bop, obviously.
Yeah.
Casino Night's interesting. Okay.
It's one of the later levels in that game. It had such a different vibe from all the other levels. I was like, this is nice. It was all jazzy, not cool.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. That's the thing. Like, I knew that their opinion is not one shared by most people. Like, even people who don't play Sonic games like the Sonic music. The Sonic Frontiers, if you haven't listened to the soundtrack, go and give it a listen because every level is so different from the one before.
Oh, the main soundtrack I
Yeah.
mainly remember was from my favorite Sonic game. Please don't at me, everybody. Is Sonic Unleashed. That was my favorite game.
Oh no, I'm scared about chat. Okay. It's okay. I'm just gonna take a sip of water. You should take a drink as well.
I shall do that now.
Okay. Red Blade says, "Let's go." Okay. Sonic Unleashed. While you're drinking, I'm just gonna say, is it Sonic Unleashed? It's fun. Yeah, Red Blade likes it as well. It is a fun game. It's got great music. I don't like the last level because it drags on far too long. Oh, thank you, Vugtis.
Thank you for the
Matcha,
hydrate.
you have to drink again.
I do agree with you. That last level was very time consuming. Ah, think about it. You're right.
Yeah, it put me off the whole thing, and it took me like an hour. And that's not even counting all the times I died.
Yeah, because it had so many unnecessary moving mechanics and traps.
Yeah, and you have to switch from Sonic to Werehog to Sonic to Werehog.
Yeah, because I think like inside of Eggman Land at the time, there was so much darkness that his body considered it nighttime, and I was like, what is happening right now?
I don't even remember. Like, but that's I think people don't remember the Eggman Land part because that part was just painful.
I remember the Antarctic part because of Maya, the NPC that was the little girl, and she was so adorable. Wow, that was very specific.
Oh, I can't even remember. My gosh, maybe you should be the Sonic streamer, Matcha.
I should stream some Sonic games. And the other one was oh my gosh, I don't remember the name of the area, but it resembled either Russia or China.
Oh, Chenan, I think.
Yes. Yeah.
Is.
I remember how gorgeous that level was.
It was beautiful overworlds. Werehog does fight like Kratos.
He does, because it does stretch. Oh, you're right.
I remember at the time people comparing it to God of War.
I guess Sonic was built different. Sonic was the God of War.
Yes. God of War the Hedgehog.
Oh yeah, and then in the last level in Eggman Land, where you were going from Sonic to Werehog, you also had the last part where you were Super Sonic too, because you had to fly around.
Yes, that music in that part. That's what stuck with me most about the game. I can't remember the fight itself. I remember it taking a long time because I listened to that song over and over and over. But that, yeah.
Well, it looks like I'm gonna be playing Sonic music for my next stream.
Yay! It's not copyrighted, so there's music from a game.
Yeah. Oh, you're right.
That's what I do. I'll give you a top tip right now. My Spotify playlist that I play for streams, it's all just game music.
Oh my gosh.
Mm.
I
So
didn't
what
think of
I
it that
do is,
way.
yeah, yeah. So what I do is I pick music from games that I like, and then when people tune in and they hear this music, and let's say that they like the game as well, they'll be like, "Oh my gosh, it's Danganronpa," or "Oh my gosh, is this from Persona 4?" Yeah.
I love Persona 5 soundtrack. I have a lot of anime music.
Oh. I don't know about anime music, whether that would be copyright struck, but I know that I've never gotten my audio muted for the playlist that I have. Yeah.
Oh
Oh,
my
you should
gosh.
try the other Persona games. Persona 5's good, but I prefer 3, which has a remake coming out.
I heard of 3 having a remake. Is that the one that's been all over Twitter lately?
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh my gosh, I know exactly what you're talking about because I had the guy with the blue hair.
Yeah. Yes, yes, it's all blue. Like the theme's all blue, and then the theme of Persona 4 is all yellow. Yeah. Persona
Yeah.
4 is a bit more light-hearted, so
Persona 5 is red, right? That was a
yeah.
very aggressive game.
I found that the first dungeon is kind of where it peaks, and then all the other dungeons or whatever they're called, they don't really reach that kind of level.
I agree. I
Mm.
do like the casino one. I think I have a thing for casinos now that I think about it.
Oh my. But they're fun. I don't gamble, but I can see the appeal. Like there was once when I visited Japan, like I went into the pachinko places just to see the different kinds of machines and like because they've got game themed ones.
Oh, like arcade?
Yeah. Not an arcade, but like game themed, so like a I don't know, like a Yakuza themed pachinko machine. It's not a game, but it's a pachinko like gambling machine. But it's
That's
just
so
themed with different
cute.
games. Yeah. So I went in there just to see like, ooh, is there a Sonic one maybe?
I love how there's a lot of Sonic lovers because I love Sonic. Oh my gosh, what was the show that I was watching? It's like the Sonic cartoon that's on Hulu. The really funny one where Knuckles is just freaking hilarious.
Oh, Sonic Boom. That one's
Yes,
good.
that show is
Yes,
funny.
it is. And I think it was only cancelled after 2 seasons, which is a pity because the writing was good.
The writing was really good. They need to bring it back, honestly.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm glad that the whole thing
I
is still
know.
on Hulu.
Yeah, you can binge watch the whole thing.
I enjoy Sonic Boom the show so much. Yeah, that show was built different. I even like Snips, but I
Mm.
think that's the first time she's like introduced.
Oh, it is Sticks.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sticks. What did I say?
Oh, I don't
Snips?
like Sticks.
You
Snips.
don't like Sticks?
Close enough. I know the one.
She is very
I don't.
unhinged.
Mm. I think I don't like the whole like paranoia is her personality. Like I'm paranoid enough as it is. I don't need to be called out.
Oh my gosh. I like Knuckles' personality on there because he's like, of course,
Oh yeah.
he's like, of course, a knucklehead, but like, he spits facts sometimes. He like goes on tangents, very
Mm.
intelligent tangents, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, like wasn't expecting that from Knuckles. Yeah, he is really good in that. Like I've never seen Knuckles portrayed like that, but it's cute. It's nice.
Yeah, usually he's just mad all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Mm.
We got off on such a tangent.
It's totally fine. I always, like every stream, it doesn't matter what game I'm playing, there will be some Sonic discussion. And I've seemed to spilled it over onto your channel.
Well, I love Sonic. I grew up with Sonic. Sonic was one of the first games I played. I had a
Oh,
Sega. Oh my gosh, what was it? Sega 64. And then my first few games were
Genesis?
Sonic's. Yes, yes, it was
Ah,
Sega Genesis.
yeah.
And I still have
Oh,
it.
awesome. Oh, wow. Oh, I'm so happy I've met you, Matcha. I was already happy, but I just get happier with every minute.
By me, I mean my mom has it.
Oh, yeah. Well, by proxy, that's you.
My mom has my Sega Genesis, and she was like, "No, you're not leaving with this. This is one of my memories. This is the first game console, and I'm keeping it." I was like, "Well, I mean, okay."
Oh, fair. That's fair.
It's missing a cord. Once I find it, I'm gonna try to hook it back up again. But I also have my PSP, my PlayStation Portable.
Oh, the PSP was a great console.
Exactly. I got the pink one because of the Hannah Montana game that came out at the time.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Yeah. But the battery like expanded, so now I would need to get another battery for it to get it to work again. That's another one of my missions.
Ah. I'm sure you can find it on like eBay, probably.
Or maybe GameStop, because I know people sell random stuff to GameStop.
True.
I'm gonna add it to my throne. A very specific throne gift of a PSP battery and a Sega
just the battery
Genesis cord.
Just the cord. I've got the rest.
Like, don't you worry, guys. It's for a very important VTuber. Yeah, even.
Yes, very important.
Oh, okay. So the next portion of our podcast is going to be on artistic insights. So, what gave you inspiration for your design for your model?
Oh, what gave me inspiration?
Yeah,
well,
like for the design of your model.
Oh, I suppose you're trained in graphics, right? Ah, okay. Well, I like the color pink, so I know that the color pink had to be in there somewhere. But I wanted something that gave off that kind of cozy teacher vibe, and for some reason, an overall dress with like a long-sleeved flouncy blouse was what stuck. That's what it's always been, and there's like that big red bow in the middle. Partly because of Persona 3, this character that I really like, and she's got a big old fat bow in the middle of her costume, and I was like, yeah, that suits. That suits more than like a tie. Like a bow seems more welcoming.
I'm looking at the characters now. Oh, yeah, all the girls have giant ties, but Mitsuru has a huge bow on hers.
Mitsuru, yeah. The one that I like is Aegis.
With the blonde hair?
Yeah, she's my waifu.
This game is a vibe.
It is. Like, it's actually pretty depressing, but I don't know. It feels very cozy to me.
Oh, it's depressing, but it feels cozy. Gotcha.
I think it's more like hopeful. Like, because there's so much sadness that's going on, the characters stay hopeful anyway, and I think that's what I appreciate about it as like a cozy game.
Oh, when you said that this game's theme was blue, you was not kidding.
It's the color blue. It's not like in a figurative sense. It's literally blue.
Literally, this is a very blue game.
It's all blue, da-ba-dee-da-ba-da.
Oh gosh, well, you certainly did nail that aspect.
Thank you. I like that we've got matching plats.
Yeah. So my character was based off of it was based off of this one artist that I saw on Instagram. Her name is Tewa T, and all her character designs are very dark academia and very Victorian based.
Ah, right. Can you spell that again? I want to look for it.
Tewa Terrific. I actually have her. Oop, I think I'm following her on Twitter. Hold on, I'm gonna go ahead and put it up.
Oop.
I'm gonna pull it up and then I'm gonna put it into the chat.
Okay. Just yeah, okay.
But this is like one of the many people that I find but this might take a second because everybody's name is so small on my monitor. But I've always liked the Victorian academic aesthetic, and the whole theme of my model is that I'm traveling around, but I'm always learning. So I wanted a really cute academic outfit to match it. But now that I'm seeing like all these other VTubers, now I want 12 other outfits. But
it's so tempting. And that's the problem with like a 2D model, you know? You could have several outfits. It'll just cost you hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, I don't have outfit money.
Yeah, we don't have that kind of money to spend. But yeah, like I can see the appeal of the 2D model. It's like you've got your anime characters talking to you.
Yeah,
It's
pretty.
different from 3D. Mm.
It is different, but like it also depends on the person because I know a lot of 3D models that are so well designed that you can easily mistake them for 2D models.
Oh yes, yeah, I've seen those.
Oh my gosh. There's
Um,
quite a few people that are like that.
mm, mm. And it's not a skill that you can just learn. I mean, you could, but it would save you so much time and money to outsource that to like what's it called? VGen or Fiverr. And you know, you've only got so many hours in a day, so what do you want to allocate them to? Oh, I'll check out Terra Terrific
Oh yeah, I
on
just found
X.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, on X, not Twitter, guy.
Ah. So what were you saying about this person again?
Oh, so she's
The
a webtoon
designs.
artist, but if you look at all of the characters, they're all very academic. Um, they're very
Mm.
fluffy.
Yeah, I see the one in the banner. So cute.
But in her main webtoon,
Um,
it's about like these students that are in a school, like an academy. So everybody has their own uniform. And I fell in love with all the different types of uniforms. I just went crazy. I was like, all of the dresses are so
mm.
cute. Everything just has so
Oh,
much detail, so much flair. And everything was like a matching
yeah.
vibe.
I find that this kind of stuff is it's a skill that you have to develop. It seems like people are not born with the ability to tell like what colors go well together, or you know the like what just like having an eye for design.
Yes. That is something that you're
Mm.
going to have to really think about over time. And like you said, develop, practice, get inspiration. It takes a lot.
Mm. It's not something that you can explain so easily. It's like you know saying, "Oh, these um this kind of hurts my eyes." And it's like, "Why?" And if you're not trained, like if you're not you and you know specifically trained, then it's hard to explain. It's just like, "Well, these colors they're just painful to look at together."
Yes, there were a couple of palettes that I looked at when designing my model, and I wanted to
Mm.
incorporate gold. But when I was taking
Mm.
swatches, I accidentally got yellows instead of golds at some point, and my eyes were
Ah.
burning.
Yeah, because like I'm not trained in art, but I can tell from your model that you went for a kind of muted gold for all your little the stuff in your hair and your earrings and the bow, and it's good because you've got all the other colors that are kind of a dark shade, like the maroon, the purple.
Yeah, I wanted to. My model represents more so a constellation or a nebula, and these are the colors that are in nebulas and galaxies because I'm actually made of stardust.
Ah. Oh, okay. I see.
I was created from stardust, specifically from the Little Fox constellation, and that's why I'm a Kitsune.
Oh, I didn't know there was a little fox constellation.
Yeah, the full name, well, the actual name of my model is Vulpecula Coalcis, which means Little Fox of the
Ah.
Stars. My nickname is Matcha,
Oh,
because you can actually spell Matcha.
right.
And when I landed here on Earth first, or when I came into this world, I fell in love with like cafes and coffees and stuff. And since nobody could spell my name right when they got my coffee or anything, I was just like, you know what? My name is Matcha.
Whoa, it sounds like you've put a lot into your lore. Like I have as well. I just haven't revealed it yet. Yeah.
Ooh, surprises.
Surprises oh, how long have I been streaming? Definitely over a year. So it's a I'm keeping everybody in suspense.
Oh, it's already been over a year for you? Nice!
Yeah.
Congratulations! Did you do anything for your year
Thank
anniversary?
you. Um I what did I do? No, I didn't actually. What was I doing? It was in June. And in June I don't think Twitch tells you uh when the first time you streamed was. I think that's something that you have to remember on your own. It only tells you your affiliate versary, if that's right.
Yeah, that's the only thing they'll notify you about.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think that it's more important to have like that very first stream. But I think that was probably in June, July last year. But what I was doing this year was, so I don't know if you know, but Sonic's birthday's in June. Was it June? June. Sonic's birthday's in June, and just kind of forgot his birthday. But yeah, it's like the 20 something of June. I can't remember if it's 26 or 28 now, but what I did this year was I wanted to play a whole bunch of Sonic games to the lead up to that. And at the same time, I found out that there is a fundraiser going on for Gamers Outreach, and they fund portable gaming carts for children who are in hospital.
Whoa.
And I was like, yeah, right? Like, I only found this out because I had another bunch of friends who were also doing this VTuber SummerSlam. And I was like, this sounds like something Sonic would want done. Maybe it sounds a bit childish, but I was like, that sounds kind of a Sonic-y thing to do, like for his birthday to fundraise. So that's what I ended up doing. And I put like $500 as a placeholder goal. Like, I didn't really care how much I raised, like, but I wanted to do this kind of fundraising. And I was also kind of like, I don't think I'm going to reach 500. I'm such a small streamer. I think at that time I was at like maybe 500 followers. And for some reason I managed to raise 540.
Oh, congratulations! I'm so happy for you. You guys are amazing.
Yeah, the people who are watching were amazing, but I'm also not sure whether maybe it was like the goals that I'd put up, like the incentives were also good. So like I think for $100 donation, I would draw that person's model in like the Sonic Riders or Sonic Battle style.
That's so cool.
Let me actually show you. I'll drop it in the our chat, like our little DMs. Let me try and find it. But yeah, so it was such a good time.
Oh my gosh, that's so wonderful. I'm so happy for you guys. I'm glad that you were able to meet your goal and everything. I know you were probably nervous.
I wasn't expecting it. I was nervous, but I also went in expecting nothing. Yeah, because I'm the kind of person that if I expect something when I don't get it, I'll be really sad about it.
Oh, well, you got way more than what you expected, so I know you were proud.
I did, yeah. Let me see if I can find where it is. Yeah. Oh, I can't find it at the moment, but I will send it to you.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's fine.
So, yeah, that was a cool thing that happened around my 1 year of streaming, but no specific, event or anything.
Oh. So,
yeah.
the next thing we're going to go into is economy and finance. So, what, in topics of like monetization, your day job, economic stuff going on like in your area, how has like economy-wise, finance-wise, how has VTubing affected you? So I know that like, were you planning on like raising funds for like a 2D, 3D or other model or anything like that?
Like when I think about it, I personally, yeah, I've got the disposable income, I suppose, for it. But I also find that it's kind of extravagant and maybe a bit too presumptuous considering the number of viewers that I currently have and the number of followers I currently have. I don't to me, I think it's something that I might do once I hit like maybe 1,000 or like I've got like a K at the end of my total follower count. But I don't want it to be that I spend so much money on a model. And I've seen this happen. People who spend a lot of money on a 2D model, but they never quite reach their peak after they debut. So I want to just, yeah, like I want to just be quite sure that people enjoy watching me. And then once I get a nice, like a 2D model that looks more anime and whatever, that they will stick around and it'll be worth my while that I spent, I don't know how many hundreds of dollars or perhaps even 1,000 on it. Because it is a big purchase.
It is a huge purchase, yeah.
Are you speaking from personal experience or?
Surprisingly, my model was actually, I say cheaper very loosely, but my model altogether was $1,500.
Okay, with the rigging and all that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
and it moves really smoothly, so.
Oh yeah, I love it. She, my model matches all of my expressions and everything, but even in real life, I make a lot of expressions, so I get surprised very easily. And I move around a lot, and I do have an iPhone for tracking. And actually, my friends wanted me to do this, so they helped me make the purchase.
Oh, that's really kind. So they helped to pay for some of it?
Yeah, because in real life, I'm not materialistic at all. Ever since, because one of my bigger hobbies was like PC building. So I built PCs for myself. I built PCs for my friends and everything like that. But I'm not the type of girl that's going to go out and like buy a bag or shoes for myself. I don't buy clothes for myself. Not that I can't, it's just I never want to. I just spend all my money on like things I need, like food. Yeah, you gotta eat.
Yeah.
Or I spend it on my education, but my hobbies were always games, and my friends were like, oh, you should try like VTubing out for a shot. It's going there. And I'm like, what's that? And then my friend showed me, and I was like, I could be an anime girl for realsies? And they were like, yeah, bro, for realsies. And I was like, I want to do that. And then when I saw quotes for models, I was like, man, this is a lot. And they were like, you know what? You never asked for anything for your birthday, so we're all just going to pitch in and you just commission an artist for something.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, not everybody has that blessing, though, so I completely understand.
You got good friends.
Yeah, I only have 2 in real life, but they've been my friend. They've been my besties for like, it's going to be 9 years now.
That is so sweet.
I love them so much.
No. I think like my bestie, I've known her for decades. Like we've been friends since the start of primary school. Like a long time. But so she also knows about my VTubing, which is and she's supportive of that as well. Yeah.
It's nice to have people that
IRL.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the funny thing was that I actually, when I wanted to start VTubing, I was considering like, can I make this my next job? Because when I was deciding to leave my public school teaching job, I was you've got to have a plan in place because it's a stable job being a teacher, right? And it's kind of like, what am I gonna do afterwards? I'd probably have some funds for like a few months, but I definitely need to start doing, get work again afterwards, after some time. And I was considering, can I try my hand at making VTubing a full-time thing? And I ended up having to tell my parents, like, hey, I am quitting. I am quitting teaching, which is difficult when your parents are academics, because it does kind of, it would feel like you're letting them down.
Yeah. How did they take it?
Surprisingly, or perhaps not surprisingly, they were 100% supportive of me leaving. And I think I was caught off guard because I was expecting them to say, oh, what are you planning to do after, like giving me the 3rd degree and asking me a lot of questions. But I think because they're academics, they know what it's like the realities of being a teacher. It's not just enough to be passionate, but you need to be able to look after yourself. And because teaching takes a lot out of you, and they know that, maybe they were happy in a way that I was leaving.
Yeah, because nobody would know more than they would, right? Since they've been in it for so long.
Yeah. And then I told them after that, when they'd taken that well, I told them about VTubing, and it took a while because they're not familiar with that kind of thing. But what was nice is that it seemed like they trusted me on my decision. So I was kind of like, oh, I wasn't expecting this. I'm not sure what to do now. Thank you. I wasn't expecting to be supported.
Oh my god. It's like you jump off of a cliff and then you have a hammock halfway down that's already caught you.
Yeah. Or like you think you're jumping out, or you think you're jumping out of a cliff, but you're actually just like hopping over a little mound.
Oh yeah! That's happened to me in quite a few games where I thought I fell off the map, but there was another ledge.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, that's quite nice to feel supported. So maybe it's so, and it helped me to cement my decision to leave. And yeah, so no regrets, none at all. Especially not about VTubing.
Oh yeah, I know you're much, much happier now, I bet.
Oh yeah, and people can see it as well. Like, they don't know that I'm VTubing. They know that I've left my previous job. But they can tell that I'm happier.
When I showed my mom my setup and everything, like my PCs and stuff, because she knew that I loved PCs, but she didn't know what I was doing with it. When I showed her like Matcha for the first time, she cried.
She cried? That's so sweet.
She cried because because I worked at a management job that I hated, and I made a lot of money. But I wasn't happy at all. And I left because of the work hours. They changed it, and they wanted me to work 14 hours a day, 6 days a week.
What the heck? 6 days a week and that many? What?
Yes. On paper, I was working 12 hours, 4 days. I was salary.
Oh yeah. It's always different on paper. Like for teachers as well, because they don't count the marking, the amount of time you spend marking.
Wait, they don't?
Or like preparing. No, they don't.
What?
So yeah, so you could end up marking in the weekend, and that doesn't count as overtime because it's just part of the job.
Isn't that crazy?
And like, it is crazy. And like the TikTok that you were talking about earlier with the teacher decorating the class, all the money that was spent on those decorations is probably her money.
What?
Yeah. It's wild how much passion goes into teaching that people, they don't realize, like, it's not the school's money. Or like when the teacher gives you gifts for like the end of the semester, or like when you're going off a summer break, all the money that was used to buy those gifts, that's the teacher's money.
My goodie bags for Miss Johnson in the 5th grade was her own money.
Yes.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, there was once as well where like there was a kid who was from a really poor family, like needed financial assistance and that kind of thing. But really the financial assistance that comes is not, it's enough for the basics. Are they comfortable? Probably not, because they're like a family of 6 living in a 2-room flat. But so the kid was apparently not getting a very good night's sleep. I mean, naturally, if you're sharing a room with like 4 siblings, so the bunch of us, like the teachers, pooled money together to buy a mattress, like a foldable mattress for this kid, so that they could unfold it at night and have their own kind of place to sleep, and then in the morning they could fold it back up and they'd still have the floor space.
That's so sweet.
It's like that's where the passion comes out from, because you feel sad about these families. They didn't choose to be in that kind of situation. They didn't choose to be poor, but it's that kind of stuff that you don't see And it's
Yeah.
not money that comes from the school, or it really could depend on the kind of school that you have.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's so sweet. That's so sad.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. Because I know that there's a lot of people living that way.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, they're getting money from the government. People complain about, oh, taxes, blah, blah, blah. But it's just enough for these families to, like, not die. Really.
Pretty much because,
So,
like, once my country admits that it's going to be in a depression or a recession, that money's gone.
yeah, yeah. It's, yeah, so there are a lot of people who are living like that you don't see, but maybe it's because I teach tens of children that I do see a whole range of kids, like, you know, coming from really well-to-do families, but, you know, they've got all their basic needs looked after, but they, you know, they're depressed or something. Or you've got kids who are, you know, pretty happy, pretty peppy, but they come from like a family where there's like 4 of them squeezed into one room.
That really sucks. Hi, Loon. Welcome in.
So,
I can't even imagine because I grew up with just 2 siblings, and our age from our older sister is so far off. We had never really lived. By the time we were born, she was already grown. So it was like me and my brother. So there was not ever really we had our own room. So I can't imagine.
Yeah.
Sharing a space with that many people. I was salty that I had roommates in college. I hated sharing a house with people.
Yeah. And you can choose your roommates. You can't choose your siblings or how far apart in age you are from them.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh, that sucked. Because I think the most I've roomed with was 3 other girls. But what was awkward is that they hated... No, 2 of them were friends. Well, I thought that the 3 of them were friends. Until there was one time where me and my bestie were just in my room playing games or whatever. But we were like playing with our like Nintendos. And we had our headphones in. And we were just using the little texty chat, whatever. We weren't saying anything. Yeah. So they didn't know that we were in there. They thought that I was over at my bestie's apartment. And they walked in and I was like, oh, my roommates are here. I'm just going to see what they're doing. So I took off my headphones. She took off hers. We went to the door and we heard them just saying really mean things about the 3rd girl. And it was so awkward.
Oh, wow. That is so awkward.
And I looked at her and I was like, should we probably shouldn't leave here, should we? And she was like, no, we should probably stay here. Let's just hide here.
Oh my gosh.
I'll text my roommate and I'll just tell her I'm spending the night because I think we're kind of stuck
here. My gosh. That's like a cartoon episode. That's something that would happen in a cartoon. You're stuck.
Yeah, we literally got stuck because I was like, I wasn't close to the other roommates. I wasn't close to them at all. So I was like, I don't want to interfere. It's technically none of my business, but like I live with these people. And if anything like negative or bad happens, I don't want to be involved. So we just sat there, and after everybody went to sleep, we like had a discussion about it. So we decided just to tell the 3rd girl, because she was really nice. She was a genuinely nice person, and she didn't deserve to be treated like that. So we told her. She believed us immediately, actually. And then she just like stopped being friends with them, and I was like, oh, okay, well, that's
it's
that, I guess.
Telling. It's telling that she believed you guys right away. Maybe she got a vibe.
Yeah, well, I asked her about that. Yeah, she said that she said she thought that they were saying things because of some of the conversations they had. But the main thing she said was like, you guys don't have a reason to lie. You've never said this before. So
yeah. Oh, you've got a good track record then.
Yeah, because we never were involved with anybody's drama or anything. We just stuck to ourselves. We were like the only girls at the whole in the whole dormitory that actually liked games. So we were just always with each other.
Ah, right.
But it was still very awkward because eventually, like, they did say some really, really rude things that had to get the counselor involved, and so we did have to talk as a household.
Oh, sheesh. That's a huge mess. But if you were family, you wouldn't be able to escape these people.
You're right.
Yeah.
You should be stuck. You should be stuck with them in one room.
You'd be stuck with them. Yeah, and then you'd have to make up and pretend that that whole thing didn't happen.
Chat says, make sure you can get out of there before the truth bomb. Oh, exactly. None of
A
the
bit
girls, though, were
difficult if you're stuck in the room.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because, like, if one of them were to, like, drop a huge truth bomb, like they were pregnant or something, that'd be so awkward. That didn't happen.
Oh my gosh.
But
that's sitcom material.
yeah, I would just be like, hey, yo, write that down.
What, blackmail material?
I wouldn't even know what I would blackmail them for, but I would have the power. Do you have anything crazy like that that's probably happened in your time?
I've never really, like, I'm lucky enough that I've never had to stay with roommates. I don't I haven't had something that crazy, but that's probably a good thing.
Matt, wow, must be nice.
No, not really, because it means I've been staying with family for most of the time.
Oh, so you can
which is its own. Yeah, so which is its own. Yeah, so for some time I was actually living with my grandma, and the way that grandma kind of works is that she like, you need to tell grandma where you are at all times if you're not home, right? Like, because she worries, which I understand, but it also means that you worry about making her worry.
And then everybody's just full of anxiety.
Yeah. But otherwise, yeah, I've never had any any points of friction between grandma. But that's I feel like it's always a lot easier to get along with your grandparents than it is your actual parents.
Grandparents, they've already lived their life. They're kind of chill for the rest of it.
Yeah. Or maybe that, they've had their turn raising their kids, so they've got experience when it comes to you.
Yeah, they'll sit there and be like, I already know what you're about to do and say. You just like your mama.
Yeah. Your mama tried this with me already, decades ago.
I already know all your secrets. Grandparents are mostly okay. Yeah.
Grandparents are super chill.
So unfortunately, like when by the time I turned 10, my grandparents have already passed away. But I knew my great grandmother.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it was like double. She was like, your mom's tried it, her mom's tried it, you about to try it. I don't know where y'all get this from.
I love that. No chill. All chill.
None at all. The main thing, but my great grandmother, she the sweetest thing ever. And of course I'm speaking out of pure bias because that's my great grandmother. And she was also like the only grandparent I grew up with. But there was one time where, because I grew up in maybe a not so fortunate household, of course the situation is so much better now than when I was younger, which I'm very grateful about. But there was a time where we had to stay with my great grandmother for a little while because our power went out and it was a dead of winter, so cold. So she let us stay with her, and she told me about all these ghost stories because I slept in her room in her California king size bed, and that was all comfy.
Ooh.
She had the best comforter. Oh my gosh, it was so soft. It was so great. That was the best bed ever. This glorious bed that I couldn't even sleep because she was like casually telling me about these ghost stories in the freaking house.
How old were you?
I was like 12.
Oh no.
Because she was like, oh yeah, I remember when like your cousin stayed here, and my cousin was a culinary major. His food was amazing. And she was like, oh yeah, I woke up one time and yeah, your cousin was making breakfast and everything. I was like, oh, what do you make? She said nothing. And I was like, what do you mean nothing? Huh? She was like, yeah, I smelled breakfast, but he didn't cook anything. Nothing was downstairs, so I thought he cooked before. And so I went back to bed very confused because it smelled like the stove was going. And then I felt a pressure on the feet of my bed. And I saw an imprint as if someone was sitting at the end of my bed. And I was like, when did this happen? She was like, oh, like a month ago. A month?
Ooh, that's too recent. Oh my God.
And I was like, are you sleeping?
Oh, sheesh.
I cried to my
I've
brother.
got goosebumps as well. Ooh. I've got a story as well. I think my viewers would have heard it already because I think I've told it twice at least. But like when I've been playing Phasmo, but so the story goes that my back when I was a baby, we had a live-in helper for a little while. I know. And they would look after me, and it was nighttime. Yep, it was nighttime. My parents were asleep, and the helper was, I think, like really tired. She was nodding off, but then I started crying, and but she was too tired. I think she couldn't like bring herself to wake up, and she felt a tapping, and she opened her eyes and looked up, and she saw my grandma, and my grandma was apparently pointing in my direction and saying, "Oh, Piper's crying." And at that, the helper, like groggily, got up, went over to me, picked me up, pat, and only then did she realize, because she'd woken up a little bit more. Only then did she realize that my grandma doesn't stay with us. So who was that?
What?
And I didn't even know this story until my parents told me about it when I was a lot older. It's like, oh my gosh, I would be so scared. I wouldn't even stand up.
Oh my gosh. No.
Yeah.
That reminds me of the story that my mom told me, because I knew that we lived in a really nice house. We lived in a nice house, and we only lived there up until I turned 1. I'm the youngest out of all of our siblings. Once I turned 1, we moved out, and I was like, Mommy, like, why did we move out if the house was so nice? She said, because you started talking to people. And I was like, oh.
Oh.
Such a snarky attitude. I was like, who was I talking to? She said, that's the problem. I don't know. So we left. I didn't want to know. She was like,
yeah, you really don't know with kids.
She said, I didn't know if it was because she said that I had an imaginary friend that I named after my sister. So whenever I said my sister's name, who is this imaginary friend, or my sister's nickname, she was like, oh, she talked to her imaginary friend. But then I was saying the names of people she didn't recognize. And she was like, she literally, like, she grabbed my brother, she grabbed my father.
Oh my God.
Packed us all into a car, and we just left.
That is not something that a 1-year-old could come up with. So I completely understand her concern.
Yeah, and I was like, well, Mom, I could just make up names, like, because I watched anime back then, too, even though I probably wasn't supposed to. So, but she was like, yeah, if they were, like, Asian names.
Japanesey sounding names. Yeah.
Well, she used to say pointy hair people sounding names. And she said if they were something like that, I'd understand. But you were saying, like Native American names. You were saying traditional American names. You were saying just things around that. You don't know anything about like Native America, even though that is somewhat a part of my bloodline, but I didn't know about that back then. But the fact that the names that you were saying were so long and specific and things that usually kids can't pronounce is what was concerning.
Right. Yeah. Like all those things put together. Ooh.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, if I looked up that house right now and found out it's like built on some type of ancient burial ground, I'll probably cry. So I never looked at it.
I'd pack everything up and move too.
Exactly. She said that house sold so quick.
Oh.
When a kid says, Shuri, you can be afraid. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Neo, for the
Neo! That's my husband.
Oh my god. Is that
he
Mr.
knows that
Piper?
Is he? He took my name, yes. The one who got me into streaming.
Oh my gosh, it's super good to meet you. Because of you, I have a new friend.
Yes, yeah. Oh, we share a lot in common. It's really nice. You and I, Matcha.
Yeah, I know. Like, we need to have like a Sonic subathon at some point. I could play Sonic all day. Oh, now I want to re-download all those games.
Do it. Yeah, play them all.
What a bad influence. Like, yes, do it. Play more. Give it to your...
Go away, inhibitions.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, but I do miss those days, especially when I had Sonic Colors on the 3DS.
Oh, that was the one I played as well. I didn't have a Wii. I think it was a Wii, right?
Yeah, it came out on the. Well, I don't know if it came. Wait, was it the Wii U at the time? It could have been the Wii U.
Oh,
at the time.
maybe. Oh, no wonder. Yeah, even less of a chance that I was going to play it.
I played Sonic 2 back on Sega. We were talking about that one, Alun.
Yeah.
We were talking about this. Yeah, the OG, the pixels. Oh my gosh. The reminiscing is nice. The ghost stories are also nice.
Yeah. Going from 0 to 60.
Yeah, we were talking about childhood, and then we were talking about childhood trauma.
Yeah.
Red just got his Dreamcast last night. Dreamcast? Oh my, y'all going way back.
Hey, 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 it's time to make some crazy money. I love Crazy Taxi.
I was about to say, she just said Crazy Taxi. Oh my gosh. But this is another good thing about the VTubing community, because for one thing, when you meet a lot of VTubers, for one thing, if I meet a VTuber that doesn't like anime, I'd actually be very surprised.
Same. It seems like there's like a not minimum requirement, but it seems like there's something that all VTubers share. They like anime to some degree, they like games to some degree.
And art.
And art. Yeah. I think a lot of VTubers, even if they're not like on VGen or they do commissions and stuff, they do some kind of creative expression, whether it's art or music.
Alun here is actually an artist, and she created a lot of my emotes.
Oh, cute! Let me have a look at your emotes. Alun, I drew my PNG that you are seeing right now.
That was when I was very new. You are very good for being very. You were new at. Yeah, she was new at the time.
I see. Oh, they're good though.
She also made one of my icons, and we actually had a raffle together, which was really fun.
Oh, what kind of raffle was it?
So it was a collaboration raffle. So we had like, oh, you have to follow both me and Alun, like and repost this tweet, and the winner gets their emotes, get some emotes funded by me. Like I would pay for the emotes, but Alun would actually create them.
Oh, I see. I wonder if and I think collabs are an important part of getting yourself out there and known as a VTuber. Like there was something that I was thinking about for one of your other questions about a favorite creative project. If you don't mind if I kind of pivot and talk about that.
Oh yeah, go ahead. It's still within the topic anyway.
Okay. So I recently did a cozy collab with a friend, Hikaru-chan, who's also my one of my mods, and what it was, we were struggling to come up with a name for it, but basically it was just a compliment session where we tell people what we like about their model. So how they came up with the idea is that they had seen a Smash or Pass stream. And you know, like a lot of people do these Smash or Pass, but I guess it's what people want to see. And this particular one was very mean about passing on certain designs. Like they were just putting down certain designs. You know, like there is turning down somebody and saying, you know, no, I wouldn't smash, you know, like no thanks. There's a nice way to go about that, but they were being very mean about the person's design, and that didn't sit well with Rue. And so they wanted to spread positivity instead by doing like a smash or pass kind of thing, but like a say-so version, you know, a safe for work version. And they wanted to collab with someone on it. And it meant so much to me that the first person they thought about was me to do it with.
I could see that. I will definitely do all my say-so content with you.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I enjoy being a say-so VTuber. Although, let's be real, right? Sex sells as a content creator. It's just, it's not that it's easy, but people are drawn to that. So it's been a bit difficult, I find, trying to gain viewers as a say-so streamer. And even now, I'm kind of still navigating that say-so boundary. Like, Because one of the games that I've been playing recently, and something that my community wanted me to play, because they funded that community goal, was Yakuza 0. Have you ever played Yakuza 0?
I've watched one of my friends play through it.
Okay. The most recent stream of it, I think, we came across a side quest where you have to teach a dominatrix how to be a more convincing dominatrix.
What?
So I know. And I was like, okay, well, so I've kind of been thinking about it as well. Like, how do I navigate this kind of stuff? It's not explicit. There's nothing explicitly sexual that happens, but I'm like trying to navigate these kind of borderline things, but as a say-so streamer. So the way that I've kind of worked it out in my brain is that I stay the same personality no matter what game I play. But it's just, yeah, I'm a say-so girl in a say-so world. It's kind of hard to
I say so,
not
girl.
come across
I say so.
in a say-so world.
When I first started,
yeah.
I wanted to be say so as well.
Oh,
but that was like, because I was playing a lot of Genshin and a lot of Stardew. But then I was like, I started playing Overwatch and Demonologist, and that's why I'm like, I get some variety. Cause
dude, I play Demonologist and Phasmo as well.
You heard it here, folks.
What is
3 VTubers in a row that we interviewed that play Demonologist. Oh my gosh. We need to have
it's
a
fun.
4-way collab.
Yeah, we should actually. I'm always up for it. What is say so? Oh, say so is like safe for work. So I personally, I don't swear and I don't play explicitly sexual games, games with that kind of content. So I think games, like scary games like that, I think are okay. Like for me, I've just decided I will put a content warning if it's obvious that I'm playing Phasmo. And Phasmo already on Twitch has like a warning before you tune into a stream.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I'm like, if you're looking for that kind of game, okay. But I've kind of my resolution, I guess, is that I am the same personality. Like I don't swear, and I'm not like I avoid explicitly sexual content. Like that is my hard line.
I understand that. I do swear on my streams, not excessively like some people do, because excessive swearing can get kind of annoying to me.
Yeah.
But I don't have any sexual things in mine either. I only do.
Like when
I'm sorry. I am a little bit weary when it comes to spoopy games because some of them do have the very tragic types of things. Like they could, gosh, what's the word? They could involve like hard topics like suicide and like murder.
Yeah, right.
Very graphic things.
Right. I guess I haven't come across something like that yet. I haven't played games like that yet. But when I collab with people, my personal rule is that, again, like I stay the same. I don't want other friends to have to cater to me. So when I collab with people, my viewers know that there could be swearing, there could be, some innuendo. But what's nice is that the friends that I collab with are also mindful of me. So I think they kind of keep themselves on the reins a little bit. But to me, I don't mind if they swear or they, so when I collab with Neo, my husband, we've got a bunch of other friends that we play with, and one of them like is very flirty towards Neo, and I don't mind that, but that's also because we personally like we've set our own boundaries off stream, Yeah. So I know it's all like silly jokes. So I think as a streamer, it's important to not just state your boundaries, but enforce them. And that is difficult to do when you are live. So it takes some practice.
Somebody in chat pointed out that you played Omori?
I did. Yeah, right at the beginning.
Oh, right
but
at the beginning.
I did put a content warning. Right at the beginning of my, like about a year ago, actually.
Oh my gosh, it's
Yeah.
almost your Omori anniversary.
A more anniversary. Nia, what are you saying yeah to? About a year ago. It doesn't feel like that long, but that's how time seems to work now after COVID.
Alone, you say you're not a fan of spoopy games because of the anxiety. It can bring a lot of anxiety. I played Demonologist on like 3 shots of espresso one time. And I'm not doing that ever again.
I think if you're on 3 shots of espresso, you're the ghost.
I was freaking out over so much stuff, especially the moments where like you might experience something but your friend won't. I was actually questioning, like, did I actually see something? Am I going crazy? What's going on? What's going on? What time is it? What country am I in? What time is it?
Oh, like, is it the ghost or is it the caffeine?
Exactly. And then I would just scream at everything. And she would be like, Matcha, it's not even hunting. Chill. And I was like,
oh. Yeah.
because my bestie, she's a PNG tuber. Her name is Maki. And then my name is Matcha. So there's a lot of times where we're collabing with people and somebody might say, Maki behind you. And I'll be like, whoa.
That is quite similar.
It is, and we didn't mean for it to happen. Well, she had her name first. She's been streaming a lot longer than I have. So she's always been Maki. Because it's like a Maki roll. It's like a little sushi roll. And then I was just like, I was just like Matcha because it's my favorite drink. And then and then we're always together and that doesn't help. Oh, have fun checking your washing, Alune. Okay, I think with the espresso idea was annoying the ghost. You did the ghost job for it. I did.
Yeah. Come on, wherever you are, ghost.
Exactly. Oh, thank you for the follow, Moon. There was a couple of times where I was so scared at Demonologist at one point. I was over it. I was just like, hey, yo, ghosties, it's me, your boy. Come out.
Yeah. Oh, that kind of content is really funny. There's a VTuber that I recently found. Like I raided them after I played Phasmo, and they were so they're so much fun to watch. They play Phasmo alone, and before the update, they were on level 5,000.
I also follow a VTuber that plays Phasmo alone. He's like, oh my gosh,
is it Andron?
Oh my gosh, it's not Andron. Wait, hold up. Let me see.
He's streaming right now.
Oh, like, oh, that would. Whoop, whoop. Now I have to see. I'm about to say, I don't think we're talking about the same person.
Oh, maybe not.
Oh yeah, because the person I'm talking about is not streaming right now.
Okay. But it takes I don't know, like for some people, they work better when they're doing collabs with people, but some other streamers that do better when they're just streaming on their own.
There is this YouTuber that does a skip what happens when the victim is the predator. Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
Yeah, there are some people that are good with doing content alone, and some people that do good content with other people. I can do both. I can do content by myself or with others. I can play Phasmo by myself. Well, I haven't played the newer Phasmo with the newer updates. I will never play Demonologist by myself. That's not happening.
Oh. I think I haven't played either of them long enough to be able to tell the difference so much. Because they seem pretty similar to me. Like you have to figure out which of the demons it is and all that.
Yeah, it is a ghost hunting game where they're both ghost hunting games. So yes, the main concept is the same, figure it out. But with Demonologist, you have to also exercise the ghost and do side quests in order to complete your mission.
Oh, you have to do the side quests to complete the mission.
Yeah, like you do have the option to leave once you find out what the ghost is, but if you want more bang for your buck in time, then you have to do the side quests. But that's the risk of it. You have to spend more time exploring the place because you have to find.
That's more similar though.
Yeah. So in order to exercise the ghost, each map has a different puzzle that you have to solve. And the bigger the map, the more complicated the puzzle. So you have to really be mindful of your resources or else you're going to get clapped.
Oh, okay. So the main thing is that you exercise the demon too.
Yeah.
Got it.
it could get pretty complicated because in the newest map, which is an insane asylum, and it's a huge map. It's like 3 floors. It's very big. There's an outside part, and you have to solve the puzzle of a tree, like solve a tree puzzle. You have to find the missing piece to put it on the puzzle, and then you have to solve the puzzle, but you have to stand there for a long duration of time. So if the ghost is hunting,
yeah, are you gonna bounce or what?
Like what are you gonna do? And it also depends on the ghost too, because you can't hide from the demon in Demonologist. You can hide in Phasmo, you can't in Demonologist. So it's either
like, these games are pretty popular, aren't they?
They are. I think it's because they are more than just. They're not very straightforward when it comes. I don't know. They're extremely appealing though.
Yeah, there's something about them.
Moon says no hiding. Yeah, you can't hide in Demonologist. It's you have to run, and if there are ghosts that can outrun you.
But like, I think playing popular games like these, they're good for getting viewers, but like I was also thinking as well about like retaining viewers.
Yeah, you do have to hope that people fall in love with like your main form of content, because like for me or you, we're not gonna play that type of stuff all the time.
Yeah, like the guy that I watch, he is a Phasmo streamer, so he's set, you know, he's got like 6,000 people who just want to watch him do Phasmo and maybe draw, but he is entertaining when he plays Phasmo. So I think, yeah, so you need to try and draw people in, as well as, you know, pray that they also like your usual content.
Exactly. It sounds like you're talking about Insim.
About what?
Insim. That's one of the IRL streamers that plays a lot of Phasmo. He's like, I think he's like the #1 Phasmo streamer.
Oh no. I watch this VTuber guy, Andron.
But you're talking about the VTuber. You can send me a link to his Twitch. I'd love to check it out.
Okay, yeah, he's very entertaining. Let me just drop that to you. Oh, I've sent you a message as well.
Oh yeah, okay. Because some people that play Phasmo for long durations of time, I don't know how they do it.
Yeah, like how can you play that primarily? I don't understand. Like I respect it, but I don't understand how people can play just a single game. Like even if I were to become the Sonic streamer, I'd get really tired.
Yes. There is a Overwatch streamer that I watch, and he said, oh, I don't really want to play Overwatch anymore, but every time I play something that's not Overwatch, like my viewer count drops, and I do this full time, so I really don't want that to happen too often, so I'm trying to slowly lean into other content.
Yeah, it sounds like for people who play Valorant or Overwatch or whatever, you know, one of those games, you're relying a lot of your viewership on people who want to see Overwatch played well or Valorant played well. And yeah, like the second you want to try something else, like, oh, that's not Valorant, I don't care. So it's kind of sad that it means that they don't really care about you as a person. They only care about this one skill that you have when you play this game. It's very particular.
Yeah, and I think that is more so on competitive games more than anything else.
So are they a competitive streamer? Like, are they an esports person?
Yes.
Ah, that's why.
Yeah. And they do, I feel like since they have like a large community, like a large community, well, in my eyes, if you have more than 100 streamers, 100 viewers per stream, that to me is big. And this guy, he has like 3,000.
Sheesh.
So I'm just like,
that's a lot to lose.
Yeah. I don't know how bad it drops, but of course, from my perspective, me just doing this and still growing, of course, I'm like, oh, I wouldn't even care if it drops, but if you're already there, you don't want to lose what you have, though. Competitive Phasmo.
Competitive Phasmo.
I do see people that speedrun. You can speedrun Phasmo. I've seen people do it. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, it's like they go in for like 10 seconds, and then oh, this happened. Yeah, da, da, da. Okay, it's not this. It's not this. It's not that. Like, how can you even tell? You must have the ghosts on speed dial or something.
I managed to do that a couple of times. Like in Demonologist, if you walk in on certain levels, like for example, a demon, like the ghost
Yeah.
type demon, it can hunt within any sanity. So if you're walking around for like 1 minute and it hasn't hunted you yet or hasn't done anything, it's not a demon. You can rule that out. Oh, is it trying to
Right.
does it throw vases when the lights are on? Because if the lights are on, then it's
Oh.
not a shade, because shades don't do anything when the lights are on. Does it turn it off before it hunts? Things like that. It's
Ooh, they're very. It's very specific though.
it is. Like for example, if you put salt on the ground in Phasmophobia, like if you put salt on the ground and the ghost steps in it, and then the ghost starts freaking out, like flickering the lights and trying to hunt you, then it's probably a
Oh.
wraith, because wraiths don't like salt.
Oh, okay. But you'd need to know the game pretty well to be able to, yeah.
Yeah, that just takes time, like getting to know the ghosts and stuff. It does take devotion. Like there are some traps that you can do, like in Demonologist. If you put a whole bunch of candles together in one spot, there is one ghost that will blow out every single candle before it tries to hunt, because it doesn't like warm places.
It doesn't like warm or fire. Oh.
And in Phasmo, if you put a whole bunch of random items on the map, throw it on the table, if the ghost hunts and literally throws that crud all over the room, it's a poltergeist, because they just throw everything.
That one I've heard of before, like that specific trait.
But you do have to be careful, because some of clues like that, you won't be able to know until the ghost is actually chasing you. Like in Phasmo, in Phasmo, a Hantu specifically, its breath will be cold while it's chasing you. But like, can you imagine that though? Like while it's chasing you, you have to turn around and
see
look at
whether
it.
it's breathing.
Yeah. Demonologist has a ghost the same way. In Demonologist, you would have to turn around. You would have to be close enough to listen to the ghost. If it's speaking in tongues, then it's a certain type of ghost. But like, who's gonna do that?
Gosh. Who's gonna be that close to a demon that you're gonna... Okay, say it again. All right, you're a... whatever.
But all right, we're gonna be we're already past our like 2-hour mark, so I'm gonna end off with my closing remarks, unless you had any other ghosty comments.
Not ghosty comments. I do have a few tips and tricks, I think, for one of the questions.
Yeah, go ahead.
That I'm cool to end off with. From like, I'm not a big streamer, so you don't even have to take my advice, but I've found through the 1-ish year of streaming part-time and kind of working full-time. I was lucky enough that I managed to somehow secure another job within a couple of months of me leaving the previous one. But what I found is, don't try to be someone you're not. Like me personally, I don't swear anyway, and I'm pretty I'm not even sure how to describe it. Like, this is me. This is just me. I'm just a very tame person. But I find that people appreciate a genuine personality. If you try to be someone you're not, people are going to be able to tell that you are fake. And we get enough fake people IRL, to be honest. So just be you. Another thing, I think I mentioned it before as well, but that pretty models, like nice looking models, definitely gain viewers, but personality retains viewers. It's you. Like, it's really, you are the product in this in this sphere, right? Like, so many people reach their peak during debut, and I don't see them get to that level again, and it's really disheartening, especially when, not just in terms of money, like you spend a lot of money on the model, but that, oh, they didn't actually like me, they just like how I look. And we get that enough in real life, that people just like a pretty face. And then the last thing that I might say is that I don't like the algorithm. I find that the algorithm's really mean. It tends to boost the posts where I don't really think. Like, I don't think about things when I post them. They're like my throwaway posts. And like, the algorithm seems to favor drama and like boost the drama kind of content. But I think it's good if you try to play to or ride the algorithm, like the terms that it's picking up for some reason, but somehow don't just offer the same dime a dozen content, because that is. But I will say though, that is how I met Matcha. Like I think I met Matcha on like a post where I was like, who else didn't get nominated for the small VTuber awards? And for some reason the algorithm was like, that's it, that's the one, that's the hot tweet.
And I did comment on it because I also didn't get nominated, but I wasn't salty because I was like, I just started doing this. So
fair enough. Yeah. Algorithm hears about this. Yeah, get ready, algorithm. But so in a way, it was good, and I didn't realize. But I think it's because a lot of other people were talking about the small VTuber awards, and I wasn't particularly salty. I was just kind of sad. But then I realized that it was because of the algorithm that my viewers, like whoever's in here, I don't think that they'd heard about it. And I'm not even sure how I was able to hear about it, but there was some good that did come out of it for it picking up a post that I really didn't think much about, because I was able to meet Matcha.
Yeah.
Oh. Yay!
So
Yeah.
the one last remark we have before we go on ahead and close is that since Mrs. Piper, so since this is one of those types of podcast to where I would like for you in the future to be able to look back on yourself for these same perspectives, do you have any messages for the future you?
Oh, that's a question. I hope that future me doesn't give up, because I did have a period of time where I was quite disheartened. But I think we need to take our own advice and play into the algorithm a little bit more. I hope that I lean a bit more into the Sonic content, because it seems like it's nice that people do want to see that. And I hope that we do eventually get a live 2D model, actually. Yes.
You gotta let me know so I can retweet all your tweets.
I will. Yeah, I need to also. I hope that the future me does a bit more promoting on social media. I know we've been thinking about TikTok for a long time, so I hope that future Piper does get on that eventually.
Oh my gosh, that's so great.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for you. I look forward to future collabs and supporting you throughout your journey.
Yes. Oh, I look forward to supporting you as well, Matcha.
Well, all right, guys, we're going to end it off here. Thank you so much, Ms. Piper, for being here with us today. It's been so fun.
Thank you.
It's so nice getting to know you.
Been.
I can't believe the hours
getting
flew
to
by.
know you too. It did. Like, what, 2 hours? That's nuts.
Right?
And unfortunately, the only reason that I need to go is because I have other stuff to do.
That's fine. Feel free to want to collab. I'm sure everybody would agree that we would love to do like a part 2 with you. There's no limitations on how many times you could be on the show.
Okay, well, we can chit chat. Yeah, you talk to a few other people first. But we can play other things like Demonologist and Phasmophobia.
100% agree on that.
Yay!
Well, all right, guys, go ahead and say goodbye to Mrs. Piper, so she got all her stuff to do.
Bye.
And I'm gonna go ahead and rate us out.
Thanks for having
you guys.
me. Yes.
Thank you for follows. Bye.